A very good evening to you all. You're joining us on Prime TV News. I'm Dilani Jayatilaka. Let's have a look at the headlines first. Rigorous imprisonment imposed on Gnanasara Thera. The Grama Shakti scheme commences from Puttalam under the President's patronage. National Economic Council discusses withdrawal of VAT on health services. Court rejects former CJ's fundamental rights petition against provincial council elections. The 2018 FIFA World Cup will kick off in a short while from now. Now for news in detail. General Secretary of the Bodu Bala Sena, the Venerable Galabodatte Gnanasara Thera, who was found guilty of threatening Sandhya Ekneligoda, the wife of journalist Prageet Ekneligoda, has been sentenced to jail. The Venerable Galabodatte Gnanasara Thera was sentenced to 1 year rigorous imprisonment to be completed in 6 months. He was also ordered to pay 50,000 rupees as compensation to Sandhya Ekneligoda. The incident can be described as an occasion in which justice is meted out to all in the face of democracy, which has been enthroned in the country at present. General Secretary of the Bodu Bala Sena organization, Venerable Gnanasara Thera, was accused of berating Sandhya Ekneligoda, the wife of journalist Pradeep Ekneligoda, at the Homagama courts. The Homagama Magistrates Court on January 25, 2016 issued an order to produce the monk in relation to the incident. The magistrate issued this order based on a notification made by the lawyers of the complainant about the manner in which the monk had behaved in contempt of court. The case was heard for a long period, and on the 24th of May this year, the Venerable Gnanasara Thera was found guilty with respect to the accusation. Homagama Magistrate Udesh Ranatunga, announcing the verdict, informed to take the fingerprints of the monk. Also, the magistrate announced that the judgment would be announced today. Accordingly, the verdict in the case was delivered today at the Homagama Magistrates Court. Gnanasara Thera was accused of insulting the judiciary and berating the witnesses, thereby causing mental pressure on them. He was found guilty of 2 of these charges. The verdict was delivered based on Penal Code clauses 486 and 346. He was sentenced to 1 year rigorous imprisonment to be completed in 6 months. The magistrate ordered him a fine of 3,000 rupees at the rate of 1,500 rupees per charge and announced the imprisonment term would be extended by another month if the fine is not paid. Also, he was ordered to pay a fine of 50,000 rupees to Sandhya Ekneligoda. If he failed to do so, the magistrate said that the sentence would be extended by another 3 months. The program for the building of the village through the Grama Shakti scheme commenced from the Puttalam district yesterday. It is being launched on a concept of the President for the resolution of development issues of the rural community. The program was kicked off under the patronage of President Maithripala Sirisena. Finding of immediate solutions to the development problems of the rural community is being done through the Village Building Village program. The first in the series of this countrywide program was launched yesterday under the auspices of the President in the Mahaveva Medagoda area in Puttalam. People from the 16 divisional secretariat divisions in the district were brought to one location with the intention of presenting their problems related to development. The President took the initiative of finding instant solutions to the problems, as both the members of the province and state officials were summoned for this gathering. Addressing the ministers as well as the officials, the President issued instructions to them to take all possible and immediate steps for the resolution of all the related issues. The President also gave them instructions to carry out a feedback via the Presidential Secretariat until the development activities concerned are completed. This is the second visit of the President to the Medagoda area. The President visited the area on the 26th of last month to look into the welfare program mooted for the benefit of the people who were impacted by the recent floods. The president observed the Medagoda bridge that was devastated by the flood waters. Following a pledge given to take immediate measures to build the bridge, it was possible to complete the work within a short span of 5 days. The people of the area expressed their gratitude to the president for looking into their problems and finding immediate solutions to them. The withdrawal of VAT imposed on health services was discussed at the National Economic Council. VAT has been imposed on medical consultation, channeling and hospital. It is the people who are finally burdened in the imposition of the value-added tax. As such, it is noteworthy that the attention of the government has been drawn to the withdrawal of this tax. The present government has taken many initiatives on the protection of the free health service and on behalf of the welfare of the patients. The World Health Organization has named Sri Lanka as a country that has reported a higher growth with respect to containing non-communicable diseases. The government has launched a road program for the control of non-communicable diseases. This included increasing the tax percentage on cigarettes, increasing the picture warnings on cigarette packs, and banning smoking in public places. The introduction of a color symbol to minimize the use of sugar is another step. A major contribution made under the present government is the provision of stents free of charge for heart patients and the granting of the best contact lenses free of charge. Restrictions imposed on the provision of treatment to cancer patients were removed. A mechanism for the regulation of private hospitals has also been introduced. The opening of OPD divisions in general hospitals until 10 p.m. was another valuable decision taken by the government. The Supreme Court has rejected a fundamental rights petition filed by former Chief Justice Sarath N. Silva against the manner in which the Provincial Council's Elections Amendment Bill was passed in Parliament. A majority of the 3-member judge bench of the Supreme Court gave this decision without being taken up for consideration. In addition, there is information also on another court case. Delivering the verdict, the 3-member judge bench headed by Chief Justice Priyasad Deb said that the petition was rejected without being taken up for consideration on a majority decision of the panel of judges. The Supreme Court announced today the order on the preliminary objections filed with respect to the fundamental rights petition. The Attorney General making submission said that the former Chief Justice had concealed facts from the fundamental rights petition. The bill was signed by the Speaker on 22nd September last year. The Attorney General said that this certification had not been cited in the petition. The Attorney General also mentioned that parliamentary proceedings cannot be challenged through a fundamental rights petition. Making submissions as an intercessor petitioner, Attorney M.A. Sumantiran said that Sarath N. Silva as a Chief Justice have given a ruling in the year 2003 that the judiciary cannot interfere in parliamentary activities. Meanwhile, the appeals court issued an order preventing the police from taking initiatives according to provisions of the Public Property Act against former Defence Secretary Gotabaya Rajapaksa. He is accused of misusing a sum of 90 million rupees in state funds in the construction of the D.A. Rajapaksa Memorial Museum. Mr. Rajapaksa had filed a petition calling for the issue of an order preventing from him being taken into custody. This petition is scheduled to be taken up for hearing again on the 25th of this month. Janata Vimukti Peramuna parliamentarian Anura Kumara Disanayaka has said their party was taking action not to create a war but to prevent it. He expressed this view at a conference held in Colombo. The conference under the theme "The 20 That Should Be Adopted on Behalf of Democracy" was organized by the National Trade Union Centre. It was held at the Public Library Auditorium. Parliamentarian Anura Kumara Disanayaka said that attempts were made to abolish the executive presidency in 1994, 1999, 2005, 2010 and 2015. Attempts were made at all presidential elections to abolish the executive presidency. He queried whether it is a serious issue to abolish the executive presidency. He said he is agreeable for the inclusion of any clauses or effecting amendments to it. Some are saying that they need executive powers if a war surfaces in the country. Mr. Disanayake said that they in the JVP was not working as how to face a war but for its prevention. The entire politics of some is expecting a war. They seem to be upset as the war has ended. Expressing his views on the occasion, Politburo member K.D. Lalkantha mentioned that the executive presidential system abolished the method of taking collective decisions. No collective decisions have been taken since 1978. The cabinet has so far been unable to reject a cabinet paper submitted by a president. He said that initially the people should agree to taking collective decisions instead of a single person doing so. Ajit Mannam and Nalin Bandara today assumed office in their deputy ministerial portfolios. Ajit Mannam, who has been appointed as the Deputy Minister of Environment, assumed office in the new post at an auspicious time at the Environment Ministry. He took over his duties amidst the blessings of the Mahasangha. President Maithripala Sirisena was present on the occasion. Expressing his views on the occasion, Ajit Mannam commented that the development carried on considering the environment is not productive for the country. State Minister Ajit P. Pereira and ministry officials were among those present on the occasion. In the meantime, Deputy Minister for Public Administration and Management and Law and Order Nalin Bandara assumed duties in his new ministerial portfolio at the Ministry of Public Administration and Management. Nalin Bandara assumed duties amidst religious observances. A group including ministers Ranjit Madduma Bandara, Daya Gamage and Gamini Jayavikrama Pereira was among those present on the occasion. The hearing of evidence by the Presidential Commission, which is inquiring into fraud and malpractices said to have taken place in the Sri Lankan Airlines, Mihin Lanka and Sri Lanka catering companies, resumed today. The Commission met for the sixth day today. Giving evidence, Captain Ruan Withanage, Sri Lankan Airlines pilot, President of the Airlines Pilot Forum, said that every year workers were recruited even though there had been no growth in profits. He said that at present there is a staff of 7,000 in the Sri Lankan Airlines. Expenditure on workers for a 3-year period had increased by nearly 8 billion rupees. Even though the number of staff members increased by around 500 during this period, Mr. Withanage said that the expenditure incurred on workers had increased highly in this manner. Salaries of workers had also increased sans profits or justice. Sri Lankan Airlines had been unsuccessful in securing a standard certificate for 6 newly purchased aircraft. The reason for the death of 3 females in a fire that erupted in a shop in the Passara town has not yet been revealed. The police said that comprehensive investigations have already begun. The police said that when they entered the shop after breaking the behind wall with the support of the neighbors, recovered 3 bodies embraced together. However, the police doubt that the fire may have erupted due to an electrical short circuit. The 3 females killed in this fire were 62 years, 61 years and 23 years of age. It is the mother of the owner of the shop, the sister and the mother's sister who had died in this incident. The shop owner had closed the shop and gone home while the 3 were inside. A fire had erupted within the shop at around 2 in the morning and the police with the support of the neighbors had made an attempt to extinguish it. As it did not succeed, they had entered the shop after dismantling the rear wall of the building. Officials including the Passara OIC Ratnavira L. Adapsurya were conducting investigations into the incident. A mother and her daughter were killed in a motor accident happened near the Nugavela depot along the Kurunagala Kandy main road. The father sustained critical injuries. A father, mother and daughter were injured following the accident and the 24-year-old mother and 2-year-old daughter succumbed to their injuries after they were admitted to the Tittapajala hospital. The bus travelling from Katugastota to Kurunegala had run over them when they fell off their motorcycle after colliding with another motorcycle which was travelling ahead of them. The victims have been identified. A ceremony was held in Kuliyapitiya to welcome athlete Parami Vasanti, who bagged a gold medal for Sri Lanka at the 18th Junior Asian Athletic Championships. The athlete as well as her coach were taken in a motorcade in the Kuliyapitiya town. The athlete was accorded a warm welcome by the principal M.N. Herath and staff members near the main entrance to the school. She was accompanied to the ceremony premises by the school band. Expressing her views on the occasion, Parami Vasanti said that her coach was more disciplined than her in preparing her for this competition. She referred to the experiences she gained by participating in the 18th Asian Championships. The Court of Appeal has dissolved the interim injunction imposed against the holding of Sri Lanka cricket election. The Court of Appeal ruling will allow calling fresh applications to hold the SLC election again. The interim order was issued when the petition was heard on a prior occasion, preventing the Sri Lanka cricket election from being held on the 31st of May. That's all we have for you today. Prime News returns tomorrow. And in the meantime, make www.itnnews.lk your go-to source for the very latest in news at home and overseas. Have a pleasant week. Good night.